took a swim in the Baltimore Inner Harbor this weekend. It wasn't just me. About 150 people gathered to jump in and hundreds more to watch as we celebrated the fact that on dry days at this point, the water's safe to swim from a bacteria standpoint.
It feels great too! It's like 70 degrees.
The event was led off with a press conference that included remarks from Mayor Brendan Scott and State Comptroller Brooke Lehrman.
Good morning, Baltimore. Some may be skeptical. I'll just say I've been kayaking in the harbor for like 6 years and I'm still alive, so we'll be okay, everybody. But this is a day not to be overlooked because you're talking about a decade plus of work, because so many people believed this was possible, but so many people believed it wasn't possible. And I'm going to be honest, if you were to ask me, would I be at 40 years old swimming in the harbor when I was 20, I'm like, yeah, I got a stadium I can sell you too, right? But we have to talk about what happens here in Baltimore consistently. People say that we can't, and we say we're going to show you not only can we do it, we can do it better than anyone else. And that's what this effort is. And yes, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of more things to overcome, and that's going to take that continued partnership of all of us working together to make sure this happens. I'm so thankful that we're here today. It's hot, so I'm going to sit down and shut up and ask Dave and everybody else to be quick so that we can jump in the water and show everybody how far we've come in Baltimore and recognize that we will get even better water quality in our harbor by working together each and every day. Thank you, and thank you, Baltimore.
In a few minutes, we will all demonstrate physically the progress that we have made through our investments and commitment to restoration, as outlined in the Healthy Harbor Initiative, because we have an obligation to future generations to leave our water even cleaner than we inherited it. Look, cities elsewhere around the country and around the world have demonstrated that clean urban waters are not just possible, but are imperative. We must have green space, clean waters, and healthy trees to ensure an ecosystem healthy for humans above the water and wildlife beneath it. And we will. We are going to leave our children a harbor that is cleaner, more diverse, and more teeming with life than we found it. We'll be jumping in for 5 minutes today, but let's make sure that we can swim and play for hours in the years to come. Thank you all.
The VIPs went first. That's Mayor Scott there in the middle. After they swam around for a few minutes, it was time for the press and then the general public, which meant it was my turn.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Chemical engineering news, I'm Craig Pettenhausen. Brooke Lehrman, you're the comptroller for the state of Maryland.
I am. Yes, hello.
What can you tell me about the economic impacts of having a clean harbor, a swimmable harbor is going to have?
So we know that already the harbor is instrumental to the tourism economy and the residential economy of the state of Maryland and the city of Baltimore. And when we're able to use the harbor in ways other than just living near it and boating on it, it will just add to the value, both because people will be interested in jumping in an urban waterway, but also because more people will want to live near here and understand the value of the water. So we believe there's a huge economic impact on having a swimmable harbor.
And what are the kind of outlays that the state is planning to make to continue this project moving forward?
Well, the state has invested millions over the years, and passed legislation. So we have invested millions in our wastewater treatment plants, millions in trees, and in helping to, make sure we're greening the area. We've invested millions in wetlands restorations. We passed legislation ending the use of styrofoam. The city passed legislation ending the use of plastic bags. So we've made huge commitments at the state and city level to bringing us to today, and there will always be more to do, and we'll keep doing it.
And then you're from Baltimore, you're a resident. What's the emotional impact for you as a individual?
Yeah, well, I'm not from Baltimore, but I got here as fast as I could, and I just love it. When I moved to Baltimore, I didn't think twice. We lived near the water. We've are raising our children near the water. For me, it's just it's so fulfilling, but it's also exciting. Maryland can never be a truly great state until Baltimore City reaches its full potential, and a Baltimore City reaching its full potential means a swimmable harbor. Thank you.
I'm Eric Schott. I work for the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science. I'm an associate research professor, and I work right here in Baltimore on the harbor at the Institute of Marine and Environmental Technology. I've had a role in testing the water for bacteria. I didn't participate this year. The past year, the Waterfront Partnership did daily testing, but I've had an interest in water quality in the harbor for the last 20 years or so.
And how far has the water quality come?
It's come a long way. The city reports that their sewage overflows have decreased by 97% in the past 10 years. We've gone from having a bacteria load in the harbor that was originally thought to be, how was it put, impracticable to fix. You know, a coalition of nonprofits, Blue Water Baltimore, Waterfront Partnership, businesses, the University of Maryland have all, and the city really, have all worked to make it a lot cleaner.
So Blue Water Baltimore came out with a report a few days ago, I guess, also giving the harbor an F grade. I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about that and how that, how people should understand that.
Sure. The Blue Water Baltimore report's really important as an indicator of ecosystem health. Making the harbor swimmable is pretty different from making it livable for fish and aquatic life. There are a lot of fish and there's a lot of aquatic life in the harbor, but it's really stressed, and so that's what that F is for. The low oxygen levels, as you know, are a reflection of nutrient inputs, which causes algae blooms, which causes decomposition and consumption of oxygen. The predominant input of nitrogen or nutrients to the harbor is actually urban runoff. It's stormwater runoff, and that's not something that you can fix by fixing the sewage system. I think that in the back of everyone's mind is the fact that this is a post-industrial harbor and there's a lot of legacy contaminants in the sediment. I don't want to raise a problem, I want to put it to rest, which is the sediments are undisturbed and deep, and they're being monitored. Metals and toxics are kind of buried in the sediment, best left undisturbed. I don't think that chemical contaminants are an issue for most of us most of the time.
What's the next stage for the water here in the harbor? Do we keep on doing some of the same things, or do we shift into a new gear of changes to make?
I think that the massive cleanups have made it swimmable sometimes, and so the daily testing is crucial, not just for swim events like this, but just everyday use like sailing and kayaking and fishing. I think that it's important to test every day. That's going to keep the attention on the water quality and maybe help residents take personal action and political action to make it possible to make it even cleaner.